Hi, Christa here, and you and I have an appointment. This is our space where we pause, reflect and talk about what is truly important about leadership, awareness, connection and communication. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, breathe, and let's talk. Today we're going to talk about emotional starvation disguised as burnout. So what is emotional starvation? It's actually when we start feeling less. It's not about the typical burnout where we start doing less. This is where we are emotionally disconnected. We are starting to feel less. We're going into operational mode. We're just in survival mode. And it's important for us to really acknowledge this, because how does that show up in teams, in businesses? Have you noticed when you sit in companies and there's certain stages that meetings are getting shorter, but they're getting colder? Communication is efficient, but it stays shallow. People stop asking, how are you? They keep on asking, how far are you with the deadlines? How's the project going? So we don't have the energy to invest in truly meeting the human. And when that starts showing up, that's red flags. We really need to, as leaders, stop and pay attention. Become aware of what's happening in your teams. When people are slowly but surely become silent, withdrawn, disconnected, they are finding ways and reasons to not show up at meetings. Have you noticed that? They will produce certain tasks, but there's no emotion in that. Those are moments that we need to realize our teams are actually going into emotional starvation. They don't have the capacity to emotionally engage. They are going through the motions. They are still producing what they need. They're meeting their deadlines, but there's no heart in there. And these are important questions for us to ask. As a leader, when you are starting to see those red flags in you, when you are really going superficially shallow, stepping in, that's happening to you. And if that's happening to you, the chances are very good that it's happening in your team too. So what do we do? The one thing I always think about, people start to try and superficially connect. And what do? They arrange more meetings. I'll tell you this. If emotionally starved people, burnt out people are in your teams, meeting more is not going to increase the connection. It's not going to fill the gap. No. It's when we are mindfully connecting with the human being to make sure that we are seen. That's when the true repair starts happening. And we need to make sure that we don't fall into the trap of pushing through things so hard that we are missing the plot, that we're missing the underlying. We cannot be treating the symptoms. We need to get to the source. So what are ways to actually assist with connecting with yourself first, making sure that you are really stepping into your energy before you approach a day? Now, I've known and I've worked with a couple of leaders where one of the habits that they start doing is in the morning they walk in and they greet everybody, but before they really go into full work mode, where they open their doors, they sit for a moment, ask to say 10 minutes, don't open my door, and they sit and breathe and truly connect with yourself. Ask yourself. And there's certain techniques we can do. And you can sit, put your hand on your heart and just breathe. And ask yourself, what is it? What's my intention for the day? What is it that I truly want to achieve today? What is it that I need? And then let that sink in. And once you've done that, you can set your intention for the day and step in. Those moments of filling your own cup. If we are emotionally starved from ourselves, we're going to go into an emotional starvation mode, and we're going to bring that into any relationship that we show up. Let's stop for a moment. Every moment, stop for a moment and look around the room and actually start witnessing where emotional starvation is present, and ask ourselves, even ask your team, individuals, what is it that you need today? What will make you perform easier in this day? And let the human connection come in. Let people start feeling that they're seen and they're heard and that they're valued. And you will see that we don't need to schedule it time and rest into our calendar. It becomes small habits that really shift how we show up in relationships. Christa here. Please like, subscribe, and put the notification. Looking forward to seeing you at our next